During the day, our brains have to make over 35,000 decisions. Some are fairly irrelevant, like deciding what color to wear or when to take out the trash. Some are more important and some are real game changers. I have made one of such game changers when I decided to change my game's level system from static wave system to procedurally generated dungeon. Get it? Because like the decision changed the game? Well anyways, here's how I did it. So let's start with making a simple plan that will guide us through the whole creation process. First we need a definitive idea of what the level should look like. Second, we need to create the algorithm that will generate the dungeon the way we want it. And then as the final step, we need to transfer it into the game world and make it interactable for the player. So the general layout of the dungeon will always stay the same, meaning it will always have these two sections. A pre-mini-boss part with the mini-boss arena and the pre-boss fight with the boss arena. You can get to this second part only through the mini-boss fight itself, and because of that we need to make the two dungeons separately and then join them together with the bridge, which is the mini-boss arena. The algorithm to generate the individual levels is actually quite simple. It really just generates it room by room in random directions. Where we do have a slight problem, however, is when we put two of these generators together. Here the dungeons join at places we don't want them to, as you can see. To tackle this issue, I came up with the concept of shadow rooms. You see, the way the generation normally works is that when it tries to make a room on top of another room, it doesn't go back and make it somewhere else, like in this case, but rather it stays on the, in this case, blue room, and from there it tries to put it in a valid position like this, for example. However, these shadow rooms, as I call them, have this exact function that if a room, let's say from here, tries to go on top of the shadow room, it puts them back to the original place and then they need to go elsewhere. So in theory, if I made a long line of these shadow rooms like this, I would make sure that everything that is on its right side would stay on the right side and everything what's on the left side would stay on the left side. So here's how the shadow rooms work in practice with the dungeon layout. And I also made the dungeon rotate for extra bit of confusion and added the capacity to make conditions that, if not met, will make the dungeon regenerate again. In this case, it's when the dungeon doesn't have a room with 4 doors, it regenerates. So now we're getting into the first step of our plan, that is transferring it into the Cursed Horizon world. I just have to make 16 room layouts, yes, 16, and a script that's gonna spawn the correctly chosen room in the right place. So that should be pretty easy. God damn it, not again. And so after an embarrassingly long time, honestly, I realized that I made the dungeon rotate, but I left the doors to stay the same. That means that sometimes the right door can lead, for example, up, and the upper door can lead to left, and so on. So this messes up the calculation which determines which room I'm supposed to put in that place, and it puts totally different room in there. So we need to fix that. But thankfully I thought of this brilliant solution for this problem that totally doesn't just change the variables to the correct form depending on the rotation. Yeah, if you're a software engineer or a programmer watching this, I'm really sorry for the headache. But nonetheless, the code is working, and now we just need to take our character, throw him in there, and yeah, we're in. Awesome. Although, I don't know about you guys, but I was expecting this to be a bit more exciting and not as empty. It feels kind of boring right now. Luckily, I know exactly what this world is missing. Yeah, that's right, explosions. So, you know the drill, I had to first make the sprite, then the functionality, then fix a couple of unrelated bugs, and finally, we have the most important part of every game. Just take a look at it. It's beautiful. Afterwards, I finalized a dungeon with a shop that spawns at every floor and a mini boss room, which is just a bigger room for now because I don't have a mini boss yet. And after some tweaks here and there, this is the final result of this devlog. That's gonna be it from me. If you wanna see more progress, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next devlog. Bye bye!